So we're asking 50 Cambridge students questions about life at Cambridge.
What would you say is the biggest misconception about Cambridge?
The biggest misconception I would say is that you need to work all day every day. Don't take a break, take a day off a week. It's not going to be productive. You're not going to be creating good work if you're just working. So the biggest misconception is that everybody is working 24/7.
We're not.
Take a break, please. And what's the biggest misconception about Cambridge?
Everyone's posh. We're not.
A big misconception is that you're like, I don't know, that everybody here is from a private school, that you're not going to find your people. Another thing is that like it's all work and no play. For the first thing, like I come from like a state school, working class background. I found my people. Like that's not a thing. And in terms of work and no play, definitely a lot of play. You have time to do. Trust. Yeah.
Obviously, it's obviously seen as a really academic place, but that shouldn't mean really much about the sociability of people. And obviously, there'll be some weeks where you'll see way less people going out and stuff because there's deadlines. But like having spoken to my friends who like going out a lot, and you know, you don't really feel it because it's just so intense, the workload and all the other stuff. It's not only workload as well that makes it the Cambridge term intense. It's also all the other social stuff that you're doing, the societies that you're involved in, because everything is constrained. Everything is intense, including social life.
That it would be really inaccessible. It is a bit inaccessible, but that people wouldn't want to make things accessible for you. But I think if you find the right people, get the right contacts, then you can make it work.
I think there's a misconception that getting in is the hardest bit, and then when you get here, it's just easy, smooth sailing. You need to be prepared to put in work, I will say. Like, it's a great place. There are so many opportunities. And it sounds kind of dumb because I know there were people who came in with the expectation that they would be doing work 24/7, which you're not. But I personally came in with the expectation that I'd be doing, like, minimal work.
Yeah. That I was literally going to have to work like 1,000 hours a day and I would never have time for anything other than work. Like, I've taken Sundays off my entire 4 years here and I did fine. Like, I do loads of extracurriculars. I hang out with my friends all the time. Yes, it's a lot of work, but like, there's time for everything else as well. And yeah, work hard, play hard is the Cambridge way.
Absolutely.
Sundays for cheer.
Sundays is the cheer.
I think for me, having come from like a comprehensive school, I was really scared I'd get here and feel like not sophisticated enough or not posh enough. And you hear these stories of like all these really posh, really clever scholars, but it's not like that at all. Like everybody here is so, if normal is the right word, normal and fun, and everybody has really similar interests. And like if you join societies, you find like-minded people. So not to worry about that at all, because I'm sure there are some people like that here, but that's not like the overall crowd.
I'm stealing yours again.
It was,
yeah, like I was so scared I was gonna get here and it was just gonna be like even though like I applied to Selwyn and like I got into Selwyn and it's like 8% state school, I was still scared that it was gonna be like big like private school vibes like everywhere. But like very few people actually like that. Like there are like some people, like of course there's gonna be people like that, but most people are just like really like down to earth, and it's just like a bunch of people that are like really passionate about their subject, which is nice.
yeah,
You know, I agree. I think also one thing that I found kind of easier making friends at Cambridge than at school was because even though like none of you guys do languages, none of you guys have the same passion as me, you're all really passionate about your thing. So the fact you have a joint passion, I think, helps.
I think the big misconception is that, okay, let's talk about the workload. I can't lie, it is a lot of work, but I think that sometimes people over-exaggerate the way in which, I think a lot of times people aren't productive and they just like are in the library all day. And if you think about it, if we were to be more productive with our time, there is time to do other things. Like I did rowing as part of a committee.
Awesome.
I co-hosted an event. Like there's time to do things. You just have to prioritize your work first and foremost, but then make time for fun because there's lots of societies here, so you don't want to miss out on that.
Definitely. Which society, by the way?
Oh, I did different things. So I did rowing, I did African Caribbean Society, I did the radio station
Awesome,
with
yeah.
Aru for a bit. I did the African Society Africa Together conference. What other things have I done? I can't think of anything. Church the
Awesome.
society.
Nice.
I literally thought I was going to come here and have no friends and like not go out, and it was going to be really dead. Like literally, the community here, especially at John's, is so amazing. Like literally amazing. Love it so much. Social life is incredible. Maybe not everyone will agree, but it is. You can literally, thank you. You were like, oh my god, Rev's so bad. No, no. Do you know what?
I mean, yes.
Yeah, I mean it is, but like social life is immaculate, and I thought it was going to be awful. So yeah.
Yeah, I think kind of same actually. Like, obviously everyone here is a massive neek, but at the same time, like, everyone's still really good vibes. It is very communal. I think also, like, even my director of studies and stuff like that, when I came on an open day, she was like, no other societies, nothing apart from degree, like, you just gotta read. And it's like, actually, if you, like, manage your time well, like, there's so much other, like, interesting stuff going on here. And, like, I think in some ways, one of the best things about going to Cambridge isn't even necessarily your subject, but like is like all the people you meet and all the other opportunities you get.
Yeah.
I think one of the bigger misconceptions for me was that Cambridge would be like really, really, really hard, so that I wouldn't have time for anything else. I've kind of found that like the supervision system and everything like really helps me learn, and then I have time to like go out, see people, do a lot of other social events. So that's been really nice.
Misconception: there is no nightlife or no social life.
Yeah.
I was really worried. Like, I was this close to going to Newcastle rather than Cambridge because I was like, I want to have a life outside of my studies, and like, studies takes up the majority of the time, but there is such a huge nightlife. Like, I mean, in my first term here, I went out every single night for 8 weeks straight because you just can, and like, I'm not recommending that at all. Crazy. Do not recommend that for either bank account, nor health, nor sanity. But it is like there is definitely a life outside of studies, 1000%.
That the history faculty is going to be nice and pretty looking because it's a really established subject. And wow, history's probably going to be in a beautiful building. No, it's the ugliest building I've ever been in. It's horrible, and the roof leaks, and we're not allowed to go in during storms because the roof leaks so much. At Sealy Library.
That it's just like full of nerds. When it's not. Everyone's smart. Everyone's a bit of a geek about their own thing, but like everyone's just really normal and lovely, and like you can just make friends with everyone in the institute.
It's nice to be around people who are passionate about things.
They like their own things, and they're very normal, and it's great.
I think similarly to what Luca said, that people don't just work here, and people go out and things like that, and it's much more social than maybe expected.
That is very elitist and conservative. I think there are some aspects of it that is, but the people that I'm with and the people that I surround myself with are very lovely, very nice.
That everyone at Cambridge is really stuck up. Yeah, that everyone is like also super nerdy. Yeah, because people are really normal actually. Yeah, on the whole. On the whole. Yeah.
You agree? I know. I completely agree.
Especially about John's, that we're very uptight, which we're not. We're a very nice, welcoming community. And yeah, everyone's just passionate, and no one's kind of, no one looks down on you because of where you're from, or there's no sort of hierarchy. It's a very nice community, and you get to go to hall.
Yeah,
which is fun.
That's true.
I would say that most people are like stuck up and really rich and affluent. I don't think that's really true. In fact, a lot of people here are just broke. Like, we need help. Just that people are stuck up. Like, I think people are friendly and you get to know them.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I don't know. I feel like with the like rise of Cambridge YouTubers like Ibsmo, PageRai, like making Cambridge
Andrew
like,
Collett.
Andrew Collett, yes, of course. People like filming their time at Cambridge and like giving an insight into what it's really like. I feel like most people here are really friendly. I haven't really run into anyone that's really stuck up and, haughty and mean. So yeah, everyone's really super friendly.
Yeah.
You've got time to do other stuff apart from studying, so that's a that's a real thing.
Awesome.
Maybe the biggest misconception is that it is all work and that people don't want to do things other than work, because in some way I think it's the opposite. People, I feel like people are always very busy, and there's a lot of societies and sports and music. I think if you wanted to have like every hour of the day full, you could very easily. And yeah, I've found that people have been like so fun, and I've been able to really explore some of my interests that I maybe hadn't been able to as much at school. So yeah.
I think the misconception I found was that Cambridge was like really small and it was very like insular and there wasn't very much diversity of people or things to do, whereas I found the completely opposite. I'm from London, but I feel like I'm able to do, if not more stuff in Cambridge, and I meet people from like all over the world, from really different backgrounds. I think it's only that way if you don't make an effort to meet new people or to put yourself out there and experience the stuff that Cambridge has to offer.
Okay, mine's not that pretty, but I think the biggest misconception is that it's super, super pretty and gorgeous and that you're going to enjoy every moment here because of how pretty it is. And yes, the buildings are really nice, but that fades. Like, you become desensitized to how it is here one term into your time here. So you have to find reasons to want to come here despite it being pretty and gorgeous and dark academia, because that's what I think kind of misled me during like COVID when choosing where to go, because that's just what's on the surface, but that's not what's going to determine your everyday life here. So I think that's the biggest misconception, or not the biggest, but one that I think matters to me.
No, sorry, I was going to say the same thing, because I think that, I don't know if you guys ever had a friend over and then they're walking through your college and like, wow, yeah, this is my accommodation. Like, you get used to it so quickly. So
That everyone here is posh.
yeah.
I'm maybe not a great example. I'm like the most London person, but there's such a variety of people here, and not everyone here has been like complete private school, bred for Cambridge or anything. So you meet some great people from all over.
Oh, I think, well, coming from like the American perspective, it's like the biggest misconception is Cambridge is very stuck up. Like everyone's here, so they're like, you know, like very obnoxious about like I'm a Cambridge student and all that. But no, like people are very, very sweet. There's people from all over the place, all different kind of backgrounds, and it's very inclusive and it's very welcoming and friendly.
That we just work.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we do work. It's like work hard, play hard. We do have fun.
Yeah.
The biggest misconception is that it's just work, no play, no fun. I think that is really the biggest misconception. People here, like, they like to have fun. Like, everyone here is just normal. Obviously, there's a lot of work, but people have fun and enjoy themselves as well. So, yeah, that's a really big misconception.
And I can promise you that even though it may look daunting, or it may be daunting when you're here, there is enjoyable times that exist every day and every week.
But I think there is definitely a way to study at Cambridge and to kind of study well at Cambridge and get a lot out of it, where you're not having to kind of work hard all the time and you can make room for other things in your life. I guess that's the key thing, is just actually, if you do go to Cambridge, make sure that your degree is, you know, it's important, but it's not the only thing, and it shouldn't be the only reason that you're at uni, I think.
I think the biggest misconception, at least for me, is that there won't be any people that I liked, and as you can see, that's untrue.
Yeah.
And like literally, no matter what your niche is, there's like a group here for you. So I think that's the biggest misconception.
It's really posh.
Yeah.
It's really not. Like, people are actually very normal, quote unquote normal, but it's like, you meet, like, it's not all about people in gowns, like, walking around being super pretentious and super, like, rich. It's a lot of people from, like, different backgrounds and, like, super, I mean, some of them obviously depends on who you talk to, but it's like, it's actually very friendly.
Definitely.
Nerdy? It's actually not that nerdy. Kind of a little bit, but not as nerdy as I thought.
People are actually really nice.
Is that everyone here is really posh. I'm just a northern girl from state school, and I didn't think I'd be able to fit in here, but I found like my people, my friends, and made friends for life, so everyone can fit in.
Okay, I'm going to steer this towards Medwards.
Say it.
Because, so Medwards, if you don't know, is an all-women's college. All women's. No cis men, basically. And I think the biggest misconception of it is that it's an all-girls college. Because when you think of all-girls schools, you might think of like mean girls, like big energy. I can't swear.
No, that's not you. I can cuss out if you want, but you're fine.
Like a big energy, like having all these cliques and things. But what you've got to realise is that at an all-women's college at university level, you're adults. So, yes, there's still the odd, like, person, and you'll hear some drama, but it's so wholesome, it's so lovely. For example, in first year, we had a Pearl House pub crawl. So Pearl House is a building where all of the first years go, and we basically had, each floor of the building has a different letter, and we did a themed pub crawl where we went round each floor and each had a different theme based on its letter. So I was on L floor, so our theme was love. And we put hearts all over the kitchen. We all had themed outfits and a themed cocktail. And we went round, and that wasn't organised by anybody. We just put it on our year group chat, and we just did it. It was so wholesome, and we had tea parties. And more recently, I went to a Medward's lit sock poetry recital, and just the loveliest environment, the loveliest group of people to just read my poems to. Everyone was so supportive. It was lovely. And I didn't really know many people there. But I think just people think women's college and they go, oh no, I would never apply there, I would never want to be there. And like a lot of people, if they get pulled to a women's college like Medward's, because Medward's, no one applies to Medward's. They should, but they don't. I think if more people thought of it as this more like a wholesome, girlies living together, because you still meet guys. I'm still friends with mostly guys, actually.
A guy interviewing you right now.
Yeah. And I think women's colleges need to be given more of a chance.
Awesome. I 100% agree. 100%.
Yeah. To be fair, I got my email with my offer from Murray Edwards College, and I went, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
What is that?
Nice.
And I had no idea.
Yeah.
And then I looked it up and I was like, oh, I don't even know if I want to go. I nearly didn't go. I nearly didn't accept my offer. So I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to be in an all-women's college.
And you love it at the end?
And now I'm a lesbian.